Hey guys, I'm here with a new review. Today I've got this TP-Link travel router. This thing is fantastic. When you get to a location, some hotels only give you one connection. Well, you can connect this and then connect all your other devices behind it. I mean, this thing is a lifesaver. Let me bring you in closer and show it to you. All right, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this TP-Link travel router. So it is Wi-Fi 6, so that itself is fantastic. It has a lot of different types of connection methods. So you can use USB tethering. So you can have a physical cable connected from your phone to the router. You can also do hotspot modes where you can connect the router to a Wi-Fi connection and it can share that Wi-Fi connection. That's how I usually use it. Okay. Router mode. You can plug this into a modem and then this will become the router and everybody share it. Or you can also do a USB modem that you can plug into. So all the connections work fantastic. Again, this is my personal router. I've used it before and I even had the previous model. They work fantastic. I highly recommend them. Case scenarios. So you're traveling and the hotel or wherever you're staying at will allow one device on the network, for a fee. Well, you can connect this one device to the network and then everybody else will connect to it. So it will pay for itself on your first trip. All right, let me show you what comes in the box. Here we have some manuals. It tells you also if you're having problems connecting to it, make sure that you're using the latest driver for your device. You can use an app to control it or just a web browser from your phone. That's usually how I do it. And we're going to go through that. Okay. So that's the information you'll find on here. So on this little paper here, it tells you the default password to log into the router to the SSID to connect to it. Okay. And here is the router itself. Very small. It's got these two antennas. So make sure you have a good wireless signal everywhere. In the back here, we have the WAN port where you would connect the router to, a LAN port. So in case a printer or something that you need connected, or even an IP phone, okay, that can connect there. The USB-A connection. So if you're using tethering or a USB modem, and of course the USB-C power port. So they include a USB-C to USB-A power cable with its own little power transformer and a flat Ethernet cable. All right, so next thing is let's go ahead and set it up, and I want to show you how easy it is to connect to it and configure it. All right, let's go ahead and do that next. All right, I have the travel router plugged in using, of course, the USB-C. We're also going to need these two documents here. We're going to need the password that's included in this little piece of paper, and of course, this URL also that is in the manual. We are going to be using the web browser configuration method, not the app. Before we start, I want to show you this here. Okay, so let's pretend this here, this little antenna is the hotel or, whatever you're staying at. They allow one connection at a time. Okay, so you've got your laptop connected to that. All your other devices have to wait until you're done with that. The beauty with this is you still have that single connection, but only now the travel router will connect to the hotel's connection. So you have one connection to them, and then all your other devices will connect to the router. So this does multiple things. One thing is we'll save you a bunch of money because they're charging you for each connection that you have, but you're only going to be paying for one, but you can have everything else, tablets, phones, whatever. The other thing is once you set this up, you never have to reset up the laptops again. So once you get to your destination, you do one connection and everything else starts working. That's why I've been using this for years. It just makes it so much easier, especially if you have a lot of equipment that you need. So let's go ahead and start the configuration. So the first thing we need to do is we need to connect to this, okay? And as I said, we're going to be using browser method. So let's go ahead and connect to it first. So you have two different options here, 212A and the 212A 5G. 5G is that faster connection speed, but you have a smaller coverage area. The regular one, this is the 212A, that has a much larger coverage area. So I like to connect to that. You know, most times you don't need that additional speed. So let's go ahead and click on that and then hit connect. Now again, on this little piece of paper is where we have that password to be able to connect. So let me go ahead and type that in. Okay, so we're gonna have to give it a minute for it to connect. All right, so we are connected on Wi-Fi 6. Of course, we have no internet yet. We soon will. Okay, now we're gonna open up the browser. Okay, the browser is gonna fail, of course, because we have no internet. So once that finishes, we're going to type in this URL. So tplinkwifi.net. That will connect us directly to the router. So now it's asking us for us to create a new password for it. So let's go ahead and create one. It has some requirements for the passwords that you have to follow. If not, it would not accept the new password. So now time zone, we're going to select Eastern Standard Time. That's where I'm at. We're going to be doing Wi-Fi connection. So we're going to be connecting the router to Wi-Fi and then sharing that to all the other devices. All right, it found my connection here at home. So we're going to be doing that one, and we're going to be typing in our password. Okay, so dynamic IP addresses, will be getting an IP address from them. We don't have to assign one. So now we can create a new SSID. Right? So let's go ahead and just use new SSID. And I'm going to enable just a 2.4 for right now, just to make it easier. So let's go ahead and give it a password. There we go. All right, so once you create it, you have to give it a few minutes for it to activate that new SSID, and we're going to have to reconnect. So now we'll go back to the network connections here, and you'll see the new SSID that we created there. Select that one, hit connect, type in your new password. Now we give it a minute and it is connected and we have internet. Yeah, so there we go. Internet and everything working. So now on any other device, you just look for the new SSID that you created, type in your password, and you're connected. And everything will be shared through this. So now as far as the network is concerned, you only have one device connected, no matter how many devices you have connected to it. So I'm telling you, this is a game changer. Traveling, even business, really, really great. So highly, highly recommend it. And that is the end of my demo and review. I hope that helps. Till next time.